Hey Dan, Cam here from Training Tilt. Hey, just in the middle of a launch that I'm helping a customer with who's using the Training Tilt platform. So got me thinking about launches and how people think about them, and also how I launched my business. So most people think that the build up to the launch, building your content and your platform is the big part of the work, and then once you've done that, the money starts rolling in and it's all easy. But that's completely not true. So it's the opposite of what it really is. So the launch is only the beginning. So once you've launched, you've got about like 5% of the way through as a successful business, whatever that may be, membership, platform, coaching. I'm specifically talking about like a membership site for some endurance sport. But it can be the same for any business, particularly like my business, like software. So when I launched my business, if I think back, 2011, I had the idea and I started building the platform up. So then I went for probably, believe it or not, 3 years without having my first customer. So 3 years, and so 2014. So then I launched the software. For what I thought would be a big launch, but it was actually just a launch to no one, just the crickets, because I didn't do any marketing at all while I was building up the launch. So when I did the launch, then that's when I actually had to start learning. So then after the launch, up till now, 2019 is where I've done all the work. So I've taken feedback from coaches, figured out all of the things that I did wrong, the things that I shouldn't have built, the things that I should have built but didn't, the way I was approaching my customers, basically everything. So then I iterated, made changes to where we are now, where I think we're in a really good place. So the launch that I've just been working with a customer on, we've done that very differently. So in earnest, we've probably been working hard on it for 4 to 5 weeks, not 3 years. So if we just go like this, here, 4 to 5 weeks. And what we did is what we'll call a minimum viable product, so an MVP. So this is common in the startup world, business world, where you only build the minimum viable thing that will be of high value to someone. So I'm not talking about cutting corners and build something that's not good. I'm talking about if you have this massive idea, you will never get it finished. Or you'll take 3 years to finish and you'll get most of it wrong. So instead, you narrow your focus right down, you build the minimum viable product that is worth something to that someone will pay X amount of dollars for. Now it doesn't need to be the end price. So if you look at me here I sold things for $19.95. Here I'm selling things for up to $300 a month. So that's the difference. So then 4 to 5 weeks, hard out work, not easy, but it's a lot easier than spending 3 years, nights, weekends building software. 4 to 5 weeks, and then you launch. Not to any sort of fanfare. You know, you do like a build up, you take some email addresses of people who are interested, maybe do some marketing, share some content, talk about it with lots of people, get lots of ideas, but do not expect there to be a big bang release where you make all your money as soon as you've released. Because basically, like I said before, release is the beginning, not the end. Launch is the beginning, not the end. So then, all of this period here, when you get there, where it's ace, and it's awesome, which actually is never the place you get to. It's continuous improvement, but that's the place where you get to where it's really good. So then you release after 4 to 5 weeks. Take feedback constantly as you go with the early adopters. Typically the first release you'll get a bunch of early adopters that are really useful because they'll give you heaps of good feedback. You iterate and change, remove things, add things, improve things, make things better. And then you can start spending a little bit more money on advertising when you think you get close to the here. Okay, so then what you'll see up here is that the launch and the continuation until we think you get it right is actually the percentages look similar. So then, like a lot of things, the 80-20 rule can apply here. So I'm going to go 20% till you get to launch, 80% till you get to really good. So for me, unfortunately, because I spent 3 years up here, you're looking at 7, 8, 9 years. Obviously 80-20 is not an exact science. 7, 8, 9 years before you get to the really good phase. And this 80-20 rule does not change if you make your launch longer or shorter. So basically that rule will apply regardless if you do a decent MVP launch. So that is because all of the improvement and all of the knowledge gets gained here after you get people using it and start getting feedback. So it doesn't matter if you think you know what people want and you get to this point, you spend ages and ages doing it, you're still going to have 80% learning curve. So if we look at again here, now we've got 20% here, and this 20% is only 4 to 5 weeks. So this 80% here is going to be, I don't know, what might that be? Like 5 to 6 months or something, maybe even less. So like I said, the 20-80 rule isn't an exact science, but then what you've got here, 9 years, 5 to 6 months in total to get from day 0 to the end where you really are nailing it, and then you can just increase your marketing spend and things can take off. So lessons learned by me the hard way, and then that's what I try and emphasize to coaches who are wanting to do a launch. And it becomes really hard because it is really hard to accept that this is the way that it needs to work if you've never done it before. I think I probably would have probably ignored that advice if I'd received it up here. But trust me, whatever you spend on the build up, if you haven't taken feedback, you'll get most of it wrong. So you might as well make that the smallest possible thing that you can build, get the feedback, and then build spend that 80% of the time really building it out, perfecting it, and getting it awesome. So thanks for watching. Hopefully that helps. And if you want to do a release or a launch of anything, and you want some advice about maybe what the MVP should look like, feel free to get in touch. Otherwise, I'll talk to you soon. Cheers.